mine from scratch. He's running a big manganese mine in Wakula province, which he stayed in the bush, I think, for years. I don't know whether 7 years, 12 years. And he has built a mine from scratch. So when he stands here, he's an authority on his own because he has experienced it all, apart from the experience that he has had in the mining space. I want to speak both as Minister of Mines and also a person that has grown up on it. I was very shocked that yes, accidents do happen, Dr. Mlenga, but I think that as mining companies, and I'll speak to all mining companies, even beyond the Copperbelt, what I know about tailings dams, first as a person who has grown on a mine and as Minister of Mines, is that the first thing that you do every morning when we were growing up, we used to play around those areas. There is every morning a vehicle that goes to check the dam. And in the evening, twice. For all tailings, that has been a standard in Zambia. And that's why probably we haven't had this kind of an accident for a long, long time that SCM or PANI has been operating where the tailing is given like that. So partly, I blame the industry, and of course, particularly, the owners of Sino for what happened. Because I know that the end of 2023, there was a report by experts that those tailings are actually okay, they can't get it. So I don't know the kind of expert, and that is why we need to investigate and interrogate all those things. We also need to recheck. I've actually ordered the mine safety department. Immediately this accident happened, I said, go around all the tailings, see if people are actually observing what they are telling us they are observing. Because, and I thank the ministers, especially Minister Copperbelt, Minister Water, Minister of Green Economy, and Ministry of Mines, for reacting very fast, because we were so fast. If we weren't, the disaster could have even worse than it is. So we quickly moved in almost the same day that it happened. And also, I want to thank Sino-Metals themselves, because they've been very cooperative in terms of working with government to make sure that we remedy that problem. So as it stands now, the Mine Safety Department has been ordered to check all tailings dams, starting with the Copperbelt, to check the integrity of those dams, as we in parallel do what we are doing today. And thank you for coming and responding to this call that as a nation we sit and check why these things are have happened. As government, President Hichilema ordered reforms immediately we took over government. And Dr. Sixtus, one of the reforms that we are doing is setting up a mining regulator, who we haven't had since independence. So we have set up what we are calling a mining regulation commission under the mines, which will replace, actually there is an act now, which is going to replace the Mines and Minerals Act of 2015. One of the issues we want to address through the Minerals Commission are issues of capacity to be able to regulate the industry. And then we also want to set up what we are calling, there's a bill that is now currently in Parliament, which is dealing with the geological and minerals development. It will be an act of Parliament. If Parliament passes it, That will also set up a directorate for artisanal and small-scale miners. Because that is another area where there is a lot of pollution. So we want to have a director solely responsible for the artisanal and small-scale miners. But within the minerals regulation, we want to capacitate more, because what we've had is a mine safety department domiciled here in Kitwe with very few staff, checking 750,000 square kilometers of land. Because mining operations are taking place all over. They are clearly incapacitated, and we want to use the Minerals Commission as a way to reinforce regulation. We want to capacitate them. We want the mining regulator to be present everywhere, wherever mining activities are taking place. So those of us that are not within the profile of what we call production, and you've been hiding, your days are numbered. Because when the commission comes, and thank God present, each of them are signed it into an act, so we are in implementation here. It will touch issues of compliance, regulations, production, and the statement of production figures. Because I know for a fact, our current production, for example, for copper, is not a true reflection of what is happening on the ground. What have we done about it? The regulator. Cyanometals are not the only ones. Recently, Nimbula polluted in Chingona. There's also a problem there. We want 3 million tons as our target, but not at the expense of Zambian people. We really want the 3 million tons of copper. But we cannot get to 3 million tons while killing our people. That's not going to happen. We want the 3 million tons for purposes of economic growth. Economic growth for who? For the Zambian people. So no one will be tolerated to pollute our rivers, to pollute our water bodies, and kill our people, because then we'll make the 3 million tons, make the money out of it, but the people that should benefit out of that would have been dead. Then why should we even reach the 3 million tons? So we want the 3 million tons to run side by side with strong regulations, and that is why our government has put in place the Minerals Commission. That is to speak to that. I know we do have the laws. Yes, the laws are good for Zambia, but I think we need mechanisms to help us in terms of enforcement. And that is where the commission comes in handy. There's been a lot of proliferation, yes, of a lot of mining activities. Again, we need a regulator to be present everywhere. In fact, we want to capacitate that regulator to an extent of even using drone technology to check who is mining where. Everyone mining must be profiled. Whether you are mining 1 kg, we need to know where that 1 kg is coming from. And I want to tell the processing plants, with the commission coming, we will have to marry your production figures to where you are getting your feed from. We don't want you to give us, we have processed 50 tons of copper. Where did you get that copper? If you get from illegal mining, we sanction you. So you have to prove that whatever production you have is coming from a right and legal mine. Because if we start off the illegal miners from that, it will help us kill pollution. Why? Because we will know that this copper came from there, this one has been, because there is a lot of pollution on the small scalers. And there are processing plants that are supporting such. And we have to deal with that so that issues of pollution are dealt with. Yes, accidents do happen, but I think we could have done better. I've also told my MSD that I want to see the last person who went to check these dams, when they were there last check, and what report did they give. Because when you are checking, you are able to see that this may collapse. So really it takes two to tango. I want this Indaba to also look at the designs, because some of the compromises has come out of the dam designs. How do they feed off each other, the dams, the tailings dams themselves? Because there is a way you structure these dams so that failure does not happen. I've grown up in Chilabombo, where Dr. Sixers knows, and they have big dams there. They have never given up. Never. We have never had where dams have given up. So really we also need to relook at the designs. Have we designed these dams properly so that they don't, give up? As government, we will support the mining sector. All investors will be supported, but also support us by doing the right things. We want this sector to grow. Amidst very huge energy crisis occasioned by the drought, we still posted 824,000. A big leap. In fact, we were targeting 1 million tons in terms of copper. It was a big leap. Why? Because this government wants to support investment in the mining sector, both local and international. And please, when I talk about investors, it's not only foreign, even local Zambians like him. We went to open your mind, sir, isn't it? With the president. That's how much we attach importance even to locally based investors. So really, I want to tell you that the mining sector in Zambia is on the upswing, but we need also to pull up our socks as we monitor industry. Dr. Bene will tell you they are on an S3 expansion project, huge project. Lumwana is on the super pit expansion, huge project. This year we are starting shaft sinking at Lubambe, huge project. Next year we are starting shaft sinking at Mingomba mine, huge project. So really there will be a hive of activity, and when there is such a hive of activity, Chamber of Mines, you should open your eyes. MSD must stand up, and that is why government has said Minerals Commission to regulate the sector, because there will really be a lot of activity. Imagine that shaft sinking at the Mingomba mine in Chilabombo. It will be huge. Thousands of people employed. But we need to make sure we also check what is going on so that we don't, compromise on safety of our people. That book we see, that mine safety regulation book, is a book full of accidents turned into regulations. And I think it's experienced, that's why Zambia became, an example in terms of keeping safety standards. So really, I urge this meeting to be open-minded. As a matter of fact, this is a meeting not to point fingers at each other, it's to find solutions and move forward. They say if you are pointing a finger at your friend, 4 of them are pointing back at you. So really, let us work together. We dissect these issues so that we do not have a situation like this ever again. It is this Indaba, or it is this meeting that can come up with such things. And like the Copperbelt province minister said, there will be toe-to-toe movement in terms of checking each other on whether we are complying. Me, my interest, apart from checking safety, would also be that you are giving me the right production figures. We don't want, as the commission comes, to hear things like Zambia exported 20 kg, the other country says, no, we imported 100 kg from Zambia. So somebody was lying somewhere, and we need to stop that by putting regulations through the Mining, the Minerals Commission in place. And that is what we are doing as government. So really, we have put in place reforms which I think implemented with, with all our might as government, I think that we will achieve success in terms of abating a further occurrence of such issues, but at the same time raising productivity in the sector so that we grow our economy. With this, I don't know whether there are many of you, politicians and a microphone are like a phone and a SIM card. So you can go on and on. Thank you so much for your kind attention.